All right, greetings everybody. Welcome to the C.R.A YouTube channel. My name is Neo, and I have some info that I want to share with the people. And this is something that I have been thinking about for like the past few weeks, And this information is for both men and women. Men and women, both, but especially, for both. I could say equally both. Equally both. And it has been coming to my consciousness even more the more I develop masculinity more and more into myself, and the more I develop the masculine mindset within myself. Because here in America, men have been programmed to be weak beta males. And as many people can definitely, many people already know that, weak, desperate beta males that pursue women as if the women are the end all be all prize. And a lot of guys are still stuck in it. And I fortunately have recognized my programming a few months ago. And now I am evolving outside of that programming and into my masculinity, higher levels of masculinity. And now I perceive a lot of primal needs and desires within women. And this is something that, and then now that I have a lot more confidence within myself, now I'm much more willing to play out and participate with other women's primal fantasies. This is exactly what they have. So the thing that I've learned from my own personal development and from my masculine consciousness now, because once you come out of your beta male mindset and you develop a high level of testosterone within yourself, and you do the things that I've done, and maybe other things too, to get outside of the beta male mindset as a man, and you stop watching TV. That's the one thing I stopped doing. I can watch it every so often now, but as far as it being a consistent thing every single day, no, I stay away from it. Because here in America, American TV is straight up propaganda, and it's terrible for both men and women, and especially children, because what it does is it gets everybody on all different levels, all levels. And as far as being a masculine man, it's terrible to watch because there's so much feminine men stuff that's on TV. So anyways, I've come into a higher consciousness that made me realize, okay, so there's different levels of a person. As far as women, we're going to talk about women. So we have the primal mindset and the primal brain, that is the actual animal cave woman type of aspect of a woman. And that's the brain and the mindset. This type of mindset and this type of brain, this aspect of a woman, our society works extra hard to make it difficult for a woman to be satisfied and comfortable with conveying that aspect of herself. And then we have our society that programs women to act like a lady in the streets, which that's okay, I understand that. But they program them so much to where it's difficult for them to actually convey to a man and to other people what type of primal stuff that they actually want to play out and participate in. And in some way, and then you got religion also. Religion is another one that is really good at keeping women's primal aspects of themselves suppressed. And this is a variety of different religions, and I'm not going to be specific, but it keeps them very suppressed. And I'm telling you, the more religious a woman is, the more that she suppresses her primal urges, the more she's going to really be enticed to do like really primal stuff. I'm telling you guys, I have seen it, and I can tell which ones are like that. And those ones are just looking for that one or more guys that they can just pounce on and just do a lot of different stuff with. And some of them, there's also some women that really want to be extremely submissive and have that submissive experience with a guy who is much more stronger, mature, who's very masculine, and who can really like manhandle them to a certain extent. One thing I've really learned throughout this new consciousness is that there are women out there who really want to be manhandled, but within a certain degree, but not like really abused. It's like it's a threshold that you can get as close to it as possible, to where you're handling them and you're being aggressive and you're assertive, but you're not abusing them to where you hurt them, and to where it's like a disaster, to where you're beating them up. You gotta, it's a certain balance. This is the type of consciousness that you'll get once the more masculine you become, and depending on what type of mental programming you go through. Me, I'm going through my own psychological reconditioning to get me outside of the beta male mindset into the alpha male masculine mindset, but a mature one. That's the thing a lot of guys don't understand, that there's different levels of this alphaness. And for me, I focus on the mature one because that is the one that society needs in general. And that is the one that has appropriate levels of masculinity. The toxic masculinity, for me, my opinion, is the one that's walking around trying to dominate people and trying to display his alphaness in a very immature way. Oh, I'm alpha, you know what I mean? Those guys, the ones that actually have to say it, those are usually the immature ones. But the ones who can just be it, and who comes across as authentic, those are the ones who are much more mature, the more maturity. So let's go to the primal one. So some of the things, like one of the top ones that I actually like about the primal fantasies that many women have, is the daddy or daughter fantasy. And this can happen is a variety of different ages. Definitely for me, my favorite ages to do this with is the ages between like 18 and 21. I like the younger ones, but I'm willing to go ahead and do this with like older ones too, depending on the situation. And this a lot of times comes from when the female lacked a father figure in her life who is a mature masculine male that can actually help guide her throughout her life and help evolve her, and to a certain extent sometimes actually whoop her, to discipline her as far as from the childhood. But now we're going to go ahead and talk about, and that's where a lot of it stems from. They never had that experience. So there's still some females, when they get older, they want to go through that experience in one way or another. That's the reason why a lot of women, they're very comfortable calling another guy daddy or even poppy. If you haven't really realized that, that's the thing that I've learned throughout my years dealing with women in general and understanding psychology. That's where a lot of it stems from. And then even if they did have the daddy experience of the father figure, that also still is inside a lot of women, and they want to go ahead and play that out later on in their life, and they still want to do it. So now when the types of things that they want to experience is actually a masculine guy who they can submit to. There is a lot of women who may not come across as submissive and feminine, but in reality, behind closed doors, a lot of them fellas, they really do want to actually be submissive, especially in the bedroom. They really want a masculine guy that can actually handle them and is comfortable doing it, being masculine and aggressive with them. Like pick them up and just throw them on the bed. That's one of the things that lately I've been desiring too, just picking up a woman and just throwing her on the bed. And that actually it turns a woman on, a lot of women on, just thinking about it. That turns them on. And then as far as the daughter father thing is spanking them, disciplining them, that turns women on too. And that's something that I've been more open-minded to doing with to a woman. So I got my belt ready. I got it right open, and then boom, when one is attracted to that, and I'll bring it out and I'll talk to her about it, and then bam, start spanking her. And I don't really want this to sound any too sexual, so I'm trying to keep it as mature as possible. So keep your comments mature and conservative as possible in the comment section. So definitely go ahead and comment on this video and share your experiences if possible. But if you want have more private stuff, then you're gonna have to go ahead and do it in my other ways. I have my Facebook, Neo, and everything will be in the description. So I got that one. And the father-daughter one, that one goes very, very far. That one, there's so many aspects of that one. It's not just one aspect of it. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that one. The spanking, a lot of women secretly want the spanking, but they don't know how to actually just say it, and they have it in their mind and they think about it, but they don't know how to actually just say it to a guy, or have a guy that will actually say it to them, like, hey, look, I'm willing to go ahead and do the spanking thing. So the other thing is, let me see, what other one? It's just a variety of role playing, different types of role playing. Some women actually like that raping, or at least borderline raping type of experience. That one I haven't really got into. I haven't really thought about it that much. That's one of the ones that I've heard. The other thing, as far as submissiveness, is one woman told me that she actually wants the full submissive experience. The full submissive experience is where the guy is literally taking control of almost everything of her life, and including her finances. The woman said that she wants a guy that even takes over her finances. Now, here in America, that is a big thing that our society programs women not to do, and not to want that, desire that, because it's programming women to be their own leaders and to pretty much be independent single men, independent single alpha men. And that's one thing that women really have to think about and understand, that you are naturally not programmed to be that way. Alpha males, you are, as far as your DNA and your primal nature, you were actually programmed to seek out a masculine man who you can be a companion with. That's why you're so attracted to those guys that have that strong masculine energy and that masculine look, and even with some kind of facial hair, because you were programmed that way. So it's good for you to actually desire to have a companion, a male companion. So you have to stop and think about yourself and analyze your own behavior, and think about all of those deep desires that you really want within yourself to play out in your life, and compare it to what society has been telling you to actually do within your life, and to how to actually feel within your life. So that is one of the issues that women have. And for men in America, it's the beta male mindset, weak beta male, desperate mindset. And then for the women, a lot of times it's actually one of the large issues that we have, the propagandas, is for women to be independent masculine men, to think that they can be by themselves and be on their own and do everything, and to not be a companion to a man. That's definitely not a good idea to follow that propaganda. So my thing is, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. My thing is, I want to say in this video is, number one, men need to focus more on my suggestions. I suggest that men need to focus more on their masculinity, understand masculinity, become comfortable with it, focus on your body, build more muscle, at least an adequate amount of muscle. That's what I have been doing myself, building adequate amount of muscle. I don't need to be big, huge, big. And I don't really feel comfortable being like big, huge. But I want to be a athletic, slim tone athletic build to where it's still sexy and I can still move around and do stuff. Like walk, do a lot of stuff. I like jogging too. I don't want to be big and huge trying to jog and run. I love to run on a football field. I love sprinting. And then develop your mindset for masculinity, to be comfortable with it. That's another big thing here in America is it's programs. There's so much propaganda to program men to be uncomfortable with their masculinity. But our masculinity is a part of us and it is our power. So you got to get comfortable with that. The more you get comfortable with your masculinity and the more you build it up as a man, the more you build it up, the more you'll be able to start to perceive these primal urges both in ourselves and in women. And you'll be able to play them out. And you'll be comfortable with them. And that's another thing I want to tell you guys too, is we got to learn to be comfortable with women actually expressing their primal fantasies to us, and we have to make it comfortable for them to actually do it. So that's one of the reasons why I have this video right here. The other reason why is just to let everybody know that that's what you have to do. Us men, we got to do it on our side to make them comfortable with it, and then women have to do their part to find times and ways to be comfortable expressing it and to the guys, and finding those guys, being able to identify the guys that they can actually express it to. Because the more we suppress these primal urges, the more they're gonna negatively affect us in one way or another, and it's just keep disturbing our life. So it's like there's a balance. You still want to keep your spirituality and focus on that, but at the same time figure out some kind of balance with this primal programming that we have, and choose which ones you actually want to go through and play out. Same thing with sex. Sex is part of our primal urges, and for me, I like to keep a safe balance between doing sexual things and also still having my spirituality is like a safe balance, and not allow my primal programming to just dominate my life. And that is the issue that a lot of people have in our American propaganda. It plays on our sexual nature, especially us men. It keeps stimulating that. So you have to learn how to have a safe balance between the two. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. This is much longer than I expected. If anything in this video stimulated your intellect and made you think differently in any shape or form, definitely click that like button. Share your thoughts in the comment section here about this video, and also your own experiences and anything else you would like to talk about that is on this topic right here. If you would like to discuss certain private things privately that is about this topic, or even personal development and spirituality, you can contact me at committedrelationships@gmail.com. You can check me out also on Instagram. That's NeoOneness. Everything I'm going to put in the description. You can also check me out on Facebook, and you can talk to me on Facebook also. Let me see here. What else? And then check out my transformationsubliminals.com website. That one is my personal development website to help people with personal development stuff. Click that like button, comment, definitely share this video, because there's a lot of people that need to hear this and to be more open to the fantasy aspects of themselves. That is when you become truly comfortable with yourself, and that's the first thing you have to do. You have to become comfortable with yourself and comfortable with your sexuality. You have to learn to be comfortable with your sexuality. If you want to talk more about that, we can do that privately. All right, I'm gonna let it go. And definitely click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click that subscribe button so that we can discuss further topics like this and other personal development, spirituality, and relationship information. All right, till next time.